Hello everyone, welcome to admission updates. This video is related to the chapter wise weightage of physics, chemistry and biology for NEET UG 2023. So let us start. First we will see in the important chapters of physics. So as you guys already know, the questions will be asked from class 11th and 12th. So first we will see the important chapters from class 11th for physics. So first one is the gravitation, and one question will be asked from gravitation. One is from kinetic theory, one is from laws of motion, two from mechanical properties of fluids, one question from mechanical properties of solids, one from motion in a plane, two from motion in a straight line, then one question from oscillation, three questions from system of particles and rotational motion, one question from thermodynamics, four questions from unit and measurement. And this one is important chapter, so make sure you study this chapter in a well manner. Then one question from wave optics, one question from waves, and one question from work, energy and power. So there will be 21 question from class 11th in physics subject. Now coming to the chapters of class 12th, there will be two questions from alternating current, one question from atom, five questions from current electricity. Again this one is important. Then two questions from dual nature of radiation matter, one question from electric charges and fields, two questions from electromagnetic induction, two from electromagnetic waves, and three questions from electrostatic potential and capacitance. Again three questions from moving charges and magnetism, two questions from nuclei, two questions from ray optic and optical instruments, three questions from semiconductor electronics, then one question from wave optics. So there will be 29 questions in physics from class 12th. Now let us see the chapters of chemistry from class 11th, and there will be two questions from chemical bonding and molecular structure, one question from classification of elements and periodicity in properties, one question from environmental chemistry, two questions from equilibrium, three questions from hydrocarbons, one question from hydrogen, two questions from organic chemistry, one question from redox reaction, one question from two questions from basic concept of chemistry, and two questions from states of matter. Then again two questions from structure of atom, p block elements, s block elements, and then one question from thermodynamics. So this makes the total questions from class 11th 24 in chemistry. Then from class 12th, alcohols, phenols and ethers are important, and two questions can be asked from this chapter, four questions from aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, two questions from amines, one question from biomolecules, two questions from chemical kinetics, one question from chemistry in everyday life, two questions from coordination compounds, three questions from electrochemistry, one question from general principle and processes of isolation of elements, one question from haloalkanes and haloarenes, one question from polymers, one question from surface chemistry, one question from p block, f block elements, two questions from p block elements, and then two questions from solid states. So this makes total questions to 26 from class 12th in chemistry. Now coming to the biology. See, biology is a very vast, you can say very vast section in NEET UG, and maximum number of questions are asked in this chapter. So make sure you prepare the subject in a very well manner so that you can obtain maximum marks and you can improve your chances of selection. So let us see the important chapters in biology from class 11th. So there can be three questions from anatomy of flowering plants, two questions from animal kingdom, two questions from biological classification, four questions from biomolecules, two questions from body fluids and circulation, two questions from breathing and exchange of gases, two questions from cell, four questions from cell cycle and cell division, one question from coordination and integration, two questions from digestion and absorption, one question from excretory products and their elimination, two questions from locomotion and movement, two questions from mineral nutrition, three questions from morphology of flowering plants, one question from neural control and coordination, three questions from photosynthesis in higher plants, then three questions from plant growth and development, three questions from plant kingdom, two questions from respiration in plants, three questions from structural organization in animals, one question from structural organization in animals for animal morphology, then one question from living world, and three questions from transport in plants. So there will be total 52 questions in biology from class 11th, which is, I believe, maximum. So prepare this subject accordingly so that you can obtain highest marks in this section. Then from class 12th, 3 questions will be asked from biodiversity and conservation, 4 questions from biotechnology, 3 questions from biotechnology and its applications, 3 questions from ecosystem, 3 questions from environmental issues, 2 questions from evolution, then 2 questions from human health and disease, 3 questions from human reproduction, 1 question from microbe in human welfare, 9 questions from molecular basis of inheritance. See, 9 questions are expected from this chapter, so this thing makes this chapter important. So make sure you practice each topic of this chapter in a good manner, so that you can attempt all the questions asked from that chapter. Then 3 questions are expected from organisms and populations, 5 questions are expected from principle of inheritance and variation, 1 question from reproduction of organism, 2 questions from reproductive health, 3 questions from sexual reproduction in flowering plants, and 1 question from strategies for enhancement in food production. So this makes the total questions from class 12th in biology to 48. So this is all about the chapter wise weightage. I believe this video can be helpful for you in your preparation and deciding the important chapters. Thanks for watching this video, and subscribe the channel for the other important updates related to NEET UG 2023.